Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to the final video on 7.2.1 that is going to be Flail, Clapback and Ebb and Flow heavy. So for Flail, whenever you or the opponent use a special attack, both of you get a random debuff. And for Clapback, whenever you apply a poison, bleed, shock, incinerate or plasma debuff on the opponent, the same kind of debuff is shared back to you. So there are quite a few champions that you can use here that work amazingly well. So you can use Dr. Doom, Black Widow Clairvoyant, Human Torch. We will discuss more about them in a bit. Next one is going to be Ebb and Flow heavy. So whenever the fight starts, the defender is going to start with a protection on him that will reduce incoming damage by 60%, but you can use an heavy to remove that protection for 12 seconds and increase your damage by 30%. After 12 seconds, the protection will come back again and you can use a heavy attack to remove it. Now there are two more nodes that are going to help you. One is going to be Rise Above. So whenever the attacker is going to activate a special attack, he has 25% chance to remove a debuff on him. And that chance is further improved by 25% if you're going to use a hero champion, because that will give you superiority. So try to bring in hero champions with a lot of buffs. So immediately Angela, Hyperion, Colossus, all of these champions come into mind. I've given you a breakdown which you can use. There are also some champions that work really well against debuff. So I'm talking about your Ghost, Kingpin with Hood Synergy, also Crossbones. So you have quite a few options for this path. And the boss we're going to attempt is going to be a Moleman. So let's jump into the path, guys. But before we do, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, turn on those post notifications and leave a comment down below. All of that really helps me out a lot and helps me grow the channel. The first fight is going to be against an Iceman. The only thing you need to worry about is his cold snap and as well as protection with the ice armor. So whenever the ice armor is up and you try to stun him or parry him, that's going to be removed because of ice armor. And with the protection as well, just be careful it's not almost at cooldown when you use a parry, otherwise it can be purified as soon as the protection comes up. And once you understand those mechanics, a pretty simple and straightforward fight. The specials can be easily evaded. I am just using a Colossus. I am just bringing in Omega Red and Juggernaut synergy. So for every armor up I have, I get 3% plus damage. So you can use other champions as well. They're also mentioned there. Colossus is amazing for this path because not only he gets armor up on parry, he's also a hero champion. So the odds for him to get more out of just doing a parry and getting debuffs away from him is amazing. So Colossus is amazing for the bard, so is Angela and Hyperion. So if you have any one of those, I would highly suggest you to bring them. Next fight is going to be against a Guillotine 2099, which is a pretty easy fight because I am using a Magneto against a metal champion. So all I'm going to do is to build up to 40 prowess charges, launch an SP3 and she will die very quick. Now in case if you're not using Magneto, you're using some other champion, I would suggest you to bring in a cosmic champion and be very careful about her Digicloak, because when she Digicloak activates, she doesn't get hit and she misses, and she can retaliate very easy to give you a lot of damage. So just be careful about that. Remaining, it's an easy fight. You might have some trouble building up some power here because she can power drain you on the SP1, but the best way to go through it is to, after she has an SP1, only do reparry. So keep holding block, and when she comes to you, just reparry her and push her to an SP2. Though that will really work to get you more power. Next fight is against a Ronan, who is pretty easy to deal with. Just bring a Magneto because he's a metal champion, build up to 40 prowess charges and use your SP3. If you don't have Magneto, champions like Black Widow Clairvoyant will work here as well. Doom, Hyperion, Colossus, Kingpin with synergy with Hood, Ghost, any champion that can manipulate the debuffs or has a lot of buffs will easily work here. Ronan is not a difficult champion to deal with, just SP1 and SP2 are easily available. So yeah, that's about it guys. But remember, if you get hit and you are stunned, and because he has his sig ability and you are using a champion that has a lot of buffs, he can kill you in one combo because of all the extra damage he will get because of all the extra buffs that you have on you. So just be careful about that. Next defender is going to be Spiderman Stark Enhanced. Now he's also a metal champion, so again Magneto will work here, but just for the sake of the video I am just using Hyperion. I would also suggest you to just bring in a cosmic champion so you can easily keep resetting his AI, and always just keep the guy to SP1. SP1 is super easy to evade. You can also do an SP2 evade as well, but you might get clipped sometimes and take a lot of damage out of his criticals and shock. So the best way is to just keep him to an SP1 and go back lying into him, and when his protection comes up you use a parry and heavy, and when the protection is not there you just lay into him and rinse and repeat, and he dies very quick. And then is going to be Mr. Fantastic. Now with Mr. Fantastic, he is gonna apply lots of debuffs on you, and it might kill you off also some point, but the best ways to go about it is to bring in a champion with some immunities. So in my case this is going to be Colossus. He's Incinerate immune, he's Cold Snap immune, and he's also Bleed immune. So any of these debuffs come in, I'll be okay, and the rest I can deal with heal power. So make sure you bring a champion that has some immunities against him, so all those debuffs he applied, some of them can be negated right off the bat. Apart from that guys, it's better to play parry and heavy style, because with every parry you will get a buff on you, and that buff will have 50% chance to purify any debuff. So, and also when you use a parry and then you go into heavy, that cannot be evaded, so Mr. Fantastic will not be able to evade here. And the final fight before the boss is going to be a Yondu, who is a tech champion. So bring in a cosmic champion with a lot of buffs and you can easily finish him off. It might take longer because it's an annoying fight, because you have to constantly wait his L1s out. Do not send him to an L2 because that will give you a lot of black damage. And also he's very stubborn to throwing that special one, so you have to dance around a little bit before he does. So yeah, and just make sure that you keep knocking him down with the heavy. So if you let him charge in and let him throw a medium on your parry, you will be able to parry him. But if he's nearby you, his light attacks will not parry and he might give you a bleed as well. So the best way is to let him charge into you, let him parry, and then you can use your heavy to remove the protection and then lay into him and rinse and repeat that process. It's a pretty easy and a straightforward fight until you keep him to an SP1. And the boss fight is going to be a Moleman with some really fun nodes. First one is going to be a fight or flight. So every 12 seconds, depending on how near you are to Moleman, either him or you are going to get an unstoppable. The further you are away, you will get an unstoppable. And also there's another node by the name of No Hit Mercy. So if you knock him down, he gets this cruelty buff that increases his critical damage by 1000%, and that hits really hard. And to help, there is going to be a node by the name of Foresight. So if you're good at intercepting, use your intercept champions and you will get a big you'll get a big bunch of damage with Foresight. And also there's bleed vulnerability, so bring in mutant champions or any other champions that have good bleeds and you will be able to kill him very easily. We are doing something different. We are using Colossus today with his synergies with Omega Red and as well as Juggernaut to bring him down without any bleeds, which goes really well. There are two key things here. One, you do not knock him down unless you have to throw a special 2, and once you throw your special 2, you just stay back and you try to run out the clock on the cruelty buff that he gets after being knocked down. Second, just be careful about the fight or flight. If it's about to expire, just make your distance so you can get that one, so you don't have to worry about the next combo coming in. So if you have these two things in mind, it's a pretty easy and fun fight. Another thing, do not hit him in his block, especially when he has monster mass, because as soon as you hit him on his block, he will go unstoppable and he will retaliate back at you. I do make that mistake here, but I am lucky that he did not retaliate to me, but he won't be that kind every time you fight him. So make sure that you do not hit him when he has monster mass, and try to trigger his monster mass when he is at 5 or 6, so you have less time to worry about his frenzy. Apart from that, he is an easy boss to deal with. Just don't knock him down and bring in a ramp up or a bleed champion and he will die really fast. I hope you guys really enjoyed the video. If you did guys, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel and turn on those post notifications. All of that really helps me out a lot. And apart from that guys, I hope you all have an amazing day. I'll see you next time.